Hello everyone and guten tag to all of you watching. We're here at the Ripple Ring here in Spielberg. Round 8 of Formula Hololive International is about to get underway. It's the Spielberg Grand Prix, which is about to get commence after qualifying, of course. But first of all, we have qualifying to deal with. Anyways, let's take a look into the track map for the Red Bull Ring. Of course, 4.3 kilometers in length for this racetrack on the hillside of the Spielberg Hills. 10 corners in total, which should actually be the lowest amount of corners in any of the circuits used in the ARO racing calendar. We're looking at a lap count of 71 laps, 305 kilometers, due to it being Grand Prix. Due to it having Grand Prix status, of course, this is the Spielberg Grand Prix, as we would like to reiterate again. Target lap times, we will be looking at a lap time of low 1:16.073, 1:15s may be possible given the right circumstances. Also, since this racetrack is in Austria, this can be listed as Takanashi Kiara's home race. Obviously, she has found to be quite fond of Austrian culture. She has also accustomed herself to Austrian culture to the point where she is an honorary Austrian, if you want to mention that. Record wins in terms of driver and talent goes to Brandon McConnelly and Gaugura. They both, these two have won a Hololive GT3 International race in the 22-23 season. So with that being said, the current driver, of course, is Sean Go. Will he be able to repeat the feat done by Brandon McConnelly last time out in the Red Bull Ring? Anyways, speaking of Sean Go, let's take a look into the spotters guide. We have some noticeable changes in the driver lineup. In particular, we have Javier Lusby for Vechazera. He replaces Kate Garcia. Also, we have Don Ellis replacing Keiko Takaboshi for Crazy Ollie. And it's one of the more low-key changes, but Kanto Kai has requested that he would like to change his name to Liam Kai after he's basically made a change in his license. He of course still runs under a Japanese license representing Hakos Bales, but it's the same driver that has competed since the start of the season. Liam Kai is of course still the same Kento Kai, just with a different name. And yes, other than that, we are not going to be seeing any more changes. Well, any more noticeable changes in the lineup here for the Austria, or rather the Spielberg Grand Prix. And of course, all eyes are on Corey Mendes, currently driving for Takanashi Kiara. He will look to try to give the KFP their home race win here in Spielberg. Anyways, also we wanted to take a look into the championship order after the Burram Super Prix. Of course, the Fifth Fest Grand Prix that was hosted mid-March, that did not count towards points. However, the Burram Super Prix does count for points, which means that after 7 races in the Formula Hall International season, we get to see Asis Wazev leading the international order with 775 points, being the most consistent driver throughout the season. Also, we have Jake Martinez, who have won a Formula Hololive race, which is the Malaysia Grand Prix, if I'm not mistaken. He won on round 6 for Mori Calliope, which would actually place him 20 or rather 19 points behind Aziz Muazif. Zeke Wimberley with the record amount of wins. By the second round, the Sarah's Founder right was at the back, but Wimberley managed to mount a comeback and a half for the Saplings, as 3 wins in the last 5 races places him 3rd in the standings. If he can win again, he will surely be a favorite to take the championship lead. Takara Adachi has won a Formula Hall race also for Inanis in the Indonesia Grand Prix. Although it's under dubious circumstances, it's still a win regardless. And then we have Corey Rica Mendes looking for his first Formula Hololive win for Takanashi Kiara. Juan Castanto is looking to get back into his race-winning form, also being quite behind the championship leader up to this point. Angela Sims is the next ID class car after Aziz Muazif. No other ID class car has enjoyed this amount of success as Aziz Muazif has had, which is something that we need to pay attention to. And then there's also other drivers. Of course, we are seeing the drivers' names before the big changes had come. But anyways, let's take a look. Let's take a bit of a change here. So yeah, here's an updated lineup here. We have Liam Kai in 9th, Rafael 10th, Evan 15, Bertelsen 12th, Santiago 13, Shango 14, also he has changed his name to Shango. Hanari Miyuki 15, Don L 16, Javier Lusby 17, Sven Jensen 18, and Hinoshi Tayo 19th. So with that being said, let's take a immediate shift into qualifying. Let's switch over into qualifying right now. I'm Mama Shazareza in the commentary booth, and unfortunately it's just going to be me this time. And hopefully that doesn't detract the fact that we are in for a cracking session here at the Red Bull Ring. So we got the first cars out on track, and one of the drivers is of course Dan Evans in the number 15 Ironeo 15 machine. And looking into this, Dan Evans is indeed the first driver out currently in this qualifying session. Dan Evans, of course, is, I believe, in the mid-table of the Formula Hololive International standings. Looking to find a good result for him as well for Ironeo 15 to go further up the championship table. It's quite advanced into the evening as the race in Formula in the 22-23 Hololive GT3 International Series round, where it was basically hosted in around October, and of course the sun set pretty early in the winter months. Also, we have other drivers like Angela Sims, of course, as mentioned, the second best ID class car currently in the field. Right now she's currently ripping through into turns 9 and 10 to start her lap. Here Rafael de Oliveira currently sitting 10th in Formula Hololive International standings, also looking to leave a mark for the Rayats. Hinoshi Tayo, the only driver who still has double-digit points coming into this race. Hopefully that changes for her. Monica Santo needs to get a win to get himself further up the championship order. And then we have Aziz Wasif, currently the championship leader for Ayunda Risu, enjoying multiple finishes but never getting a win just yet. Here's Aziz Wasif coming into turn 9 and into the final corner, turn 10. You need to carry as much speed as possible. Maybe downshift into third gear, fourth gear for you to start the lap. Running into the main straight and coming in uphill for turn 1. You can brake at around before the 50-meter board. Make sure you don't clip the curb in between turn 1 at the apex, and then try to get as good of a launch as possible to get into the uphill back straight. That's turn 2. The slight kink to the left, and then brake into the 100-meter board, or earlier coming to turn 3, and then coming to this back straight section, downhill into turn 4. And you can see here he brakes at around the 100-meter board, in between the 100-meter board and the billboard before turn 4. Get a good arc, make sure you don't extend your track limits too much. 5. And then 50-meter board, dab on the brakes at turn 6. And then you want to take it easy into turn 7 and 8:49, 1:63. For Mazim, only 2/10 behind the current lap time set by Angel Sims. 8. And then a short burst coming into the final 2 corners. 50-meter boards where you take a slight tap at the brakes. You might want to downshift yourself to 4th. And then here's a braking and downshifting to 3rd gear into turn 10. And that should be a lap here in the Red Bull Ring for Aziz Wasif, and he's only good enough for 3rd place. And as we mentioned about Castanto, though, currently 6th in Formula Hololive Internationals, in the Formula Hololive International rankings, and he's currently down in 3rd. Meanwhile, we also have a take a look into Sean Goh. He has basically set a provisional pole time 1:15.670, already beating lap time targets by around half a second now. And also we have Liam Kai getting up into the top spot here in qualifying with 1:15.642. And right now we're looking at some of the drivers already setting their lap times. Rafael de Oliveira not having the best time right now. Dan Evans continues to improve. He now gets into 8th. And now Jake Martinez, 1:15.496 for the deadbeat driver for Maury Calliope. He now puts the number 4 car on provisional pole. More drivers setting their lap times here. Miyuki 10th, De Oliveira 12th, Bernard Santiago, Zeke Wimbley crosses the line. Wimbley lowly in 11th, Hinoshi Tayo down in 12th. Takeda Adachi is in 11th. Here's Bertelsen and Castanto. Don Ellis is the last driver to set a lap time, or rather, he has already set a lap time. He actually now sets 5th fastest for Craiggioli. The driver replacing Keiko Takaboshi is now getting forward with her chances, but then we have Sean Go beating Liam Kai, 1:15.588 for him. He now sets the Gura car into a front row spot, but not before Liam Kai beats him back with a lap time only 0.07 of a second slower than Jake Martinez, who's still currently hanging on to that pole position spot for Maury Calliope. And as it stands right now, with the first 3 spots and the front row, of course, being taken over by the EN class cars, the ID class cars will have to settle for second once again. And crucially for Aziz Muazif, he's down in 9th place. The championship leader in 9th place right now, mid-table, while his championship rivals, Jake Martinez and mostly Jake Martinez, is currently up in provisional pole. Meanwhile, Adachi bumps Muazif down into 10th place. Also, we have Zeke Wimberly down in 13th place as well. Coming into the second half of this qualifying session, as Zeke Wimberly tries to find a way past Santiago. Going real side by side there against Santiago. But meanwhile, we have Sean Go beating Liam Kai once again. Nothing is basically separating between them, as only 100th of a second separates between Jake Martinez and Sean Go. And you can see here Zeke Wimberly. Oh, looks like he's made contact with someone. I believe he's made contact with Bernardo Santiago around the outside. As he was making a move down the inside of Bernardo Santiago. That will be Zeke Wimberly's qualifying session over, as he's now stuck on the inside of the exit of turn 4. Meanwhile, we're looking into other drivers. Javier Lusby, of course, making his Formula Hololive debut, replacing the departed Kate Garcia in the number 03 Vestia Zeta Formula Hololive International car. He's doing very well. They're currently up in 6th place, only 3/10 behind the pole sitter. Also, we have Takeda Adachi. Ooh, Takeda Adachi is spun at the exit of turn 1. Unfortunately, he's only at the exit of turn 1. Not going to trouble all the other drivers. That would be the end of his qualifying session. So Adachi will only be as good as 10th, and Wimberly will only be as good as 13th. We also have 4 drivers, well, 3 drivers within 10th of a second to the pole sitter Jake Martinez. Dawn Ellis, of course, having a remarkable debut Formula Hololive International campaign, well, for herself. But for Craiggioli, they are on the verge of being out of championship contention. And as you can see, 270 points to 775 points. You need to be 175 points and above for you to remain championship eligible for the Formula Hololive International title. Right now, you can see here we also have the news that Takeda Adachi is now back out on track, so he should be able to attempt to get himself back up into the order as it stands. Okay, so back here under the racetrack, and we have Takeda Adachi currently about to complete this lap before, I believe, coming into the pits, I think. And it looks like he's not going to make a move to go into the pits. Instead, he will try to restart the lap. As the lap previously, he was, of course, beached, if you want to call it that. But just need to sometimes get himself back onto the track. So here is Adachi. Easy there, coming into turn 1 into the back straight. Barreling down into turn 3 here. It looks like he basically set his braking point at around 100 meters before turn 3, and now coming into the downhill section. He's already crossed the first sector timing beam, and it's not looking good in terms of him challenging the front runner, that is Jake Martinez. But Adachi's still going to press on as usual, and now coming into turn 6 and into turn 7. And you can see here, actually, Adachi is only 2/10 behind the pole sitter, that is Jake Martinez. And so Adachi is in a very comfortable position to try to mount a challenge into the final 2 corners. Let's see, that is quite quick into that final section. The final 2 corners, he might just be able to get a top 5 at this rate. And that he does, and he bumps low speed down to 6. Adachi now gets himself into the top 5, Fernando Mainanis. Don Ellis 4th, Liam Kai 3rd, Sean Go currently in the pits, Jake Martinez already starting his lap, and he's looking to build a gap to the other front runners. And right now he is 2/100ths of a second faster than his own first sector, so he believes there's more lap time to still be gained. And now you can see here he gets his braking absolutely okay, and doesn't seem to be losing too much time for the Japanese registered driver, for the Singapore registered driver. And now coming into the second sector timing beam, and he is still faster than his own time by 2/100ths of a second. But of course the big challenge now will be that his fellow Takamori comrade, that is Hoy Recommend, is currently actually in 8th place, might just be blocking Martinez a bit. But will that actually fade Martinez? The answer will be no, as he actually managed to find a total of 6/100ths of a second for him to build the gap between himself and the rest of the field. And as it stands, also we have Sean Go also coming in on his own. He's going to try to challenge the front spot that is currently occupied by Martinez, as Martinez again sets the fastest first sector that he has ever done. And right now we have Jake Martinez currently up there in the pole position spot. As you can also, he has lost a bit of time there in that second sector. So just wanted to edit something on Twitch. Just excuse me for a while. Apologies if for the Twitch viewers that the I managed to hear something very weird, but right now it's already fixed for Twitch. So right now the title for the stream on Twitch has been changed, and now we have Jake Martinez completing his run in this qualifying session, as Go still isn't able to find some time. He's actually lost 1/10 of a second to Jake Martinez. So as it stands, Go isn't going to probably challenge Martinez for pole position just yet. Meanwhile, we've got Don Ellis and Liam Kai are currently occupying the second row as it stands. Also, just want to highlight one of the bigger performers in the Capture the Moment Grand Prix races in Split B. Split C, of course, Ethan Burleson finished 3rd in the International Main number 21, and now he's currently down in 19th. Also highlighting something is Sven Jensen down in 18th. He actually won the Capture the Moment Grand Prix Split B race for Iris. However, if he wished that was a points-paying race, because that would do him very nicely in the title hunt. Also, we have Bernardo Santiago down in 14th for Watson Emilia. Also a very good performer. Managed to beat Richie Rod in the corners and extend the lead in the straights. for Santiago en route for him to win that Catch of the Moment Grand Prix Split C race, as he's also currently in the pits. Martinez is now back out on track. He should have enough time to make one more lap to properly seal the deal for him in this qualifying session. Sean Go is currently barreling down into turn 4. And you can see here, Puerto Mendez might just be an obstacle to go if he is not careful. So he's just trying to find enough space for him to hook the car into the right places, don't not get too affected by too much of the air. But as it stands, he's already lost 4/10 of a second, and that might not be enough for him to challenge Jake Martinez, Adachi Miyuki, Santiago, and Bertelton. Their qualifying session has concluded. Jake Martinez currently at turn 4. Shango currently at the final corner as Puerto Rico finally says enough is enough. I'm headed into the pits. And no, Shango does not have enough of a quick time to get himself back into the business. And here's Liam Kai, Angel Sims, Jake Martinez, and I believe Element Shore is the last driver to finish his time. Right now we're just waiting to see Jake Martinez cross the line. Liam Kai has crossed the line. He has seems not enough of a hit for him to get himself into the front row. Martinez has had enough. And Almeida Shore, as he was about to cross the line, that should be it for qualifying. As he has been considerably slowing down. Yes, we just had this confirmation that of the current lineup here for the Spielberg Grand Prix race in Formula Hololive International. It will be Jake Martinez currently on pole position for the Spielberg Grand Prix. So congratulations to Martinez for his run in qualifying, where he set a 1:15.298 for the deadbeats for him to place himself in pole position for Maury Calliope. I just wanted to check on the records. The answer is no. This is not. This is no. This is, he has not scored a pole position before up until this point. Well, now he can finally brag that he has a pole position to his name, as he finally gets his Maury Calliope number 4 car on the front row of the grid. Now that will mean Jake Martinez currently is in in first place as we start the Spielberg Grand Prix alongside Sean Go second for Garagura. One of his better qualifying performances up to this point. Liam Kai starts third alongside debutant Don Elise in fourth. Takeda Adachi starts fifth alongside another fellow debutant, while alongside Ellis's fellow debutant Javier Lusby in sixth for Vesta Zeta. Angela Sim seventh for Anya Mofisa. Eighth place is actually Aziz Moase, as he found some time to beat Corey Rico Mendez in the final stage of the qualifying for Risu. Corey Rico Mendez, the hometown hero, will start ninth alongside Rafael de Oliveira 10th for a Pavova Nashi 5th row. Juan Castanto 11th for Oracroni. 12th place goes to Ahmed El Ashor for Kyla Kowalskia. Hanari Miyuki 13th for Koba Kanairu alongside Zeke Wimbley. 14th for Sarasvana, not what the driver in third has in mind, as he's trying to find his way into championship contention, especially with Moazev in 8th and Jake Martinez in the pole position. Fernando Santiago, big performer in the CTM Grand Prix races. He starts 15th. Dan Evans 16th for Santiago for Amelia, and Evans for Yofi. Nechitayo starts 17th for Kushinova Muna alongside Sven Jensen. 18th for Iris, also one of the bigger performers in the Catch of the Moment races. And Ethan Bertelsen is the last driver to start the Spielberg Grand Prix, starting for Nana Shimume. As we're getting this getting this race finally underway, we're gonna have a slightly different view of the cars as they're about to start this race. Obviously, it's a great qualifying session for Jake Martinez, as he's finally set his first pole position of the season in Formula Hololive International. And right now we also have Sean Go currently in second, It's also nice to see Liam Kai starting up in third place after some inconsistencies in the season, and also him being bumped out of championship contention, I believe. And also we have Javier Lusby and Don Ellis having great debut qualifying sessions. We will love to see more of them in the race to come. And as it stands right now, we have Jake Martinez currently starting in pole position alongside Sean Go for second in the Spielberg Grand Prix, and we finally get ourselves underway here in Spielberg, and it looks to me that is Sean Go already making a move down the inside against Jake Martinez, but it looks like not going to be enough. Now we have Liam Kai trying to mount a challenge, and it looks like there's a crash. Rafael de Oliveira and the hometown hero now turned to zero, Corey Rico Mendes, as other drivers are trying to find a way to clear past them, and if this blockage continues, it's going to be a red flag, and of course we have confirmation that Rafael de Oliveira is not going to continue any further. Meanwhile, Jake Martinez currently leads this race. Sean goes second as he tries to defend against Liam Kai. Takeda Adachi fourth against Don and Lee's. Adachi is trying to defend around the outside, which will be the inside light coming into turn 6. Now Don Ellis really trying to push the limits of her car as she's trying to get used to her machinery. Meanwhile, we've got drivers returning into field right now. As you can see here, Corey Rico Mendes is not in a right position here as he's still stranded in a dangerous position with Ahmed El Shor in there as well. Jake Martinez is already coming into the main straight. Will this race be red flagged temporarily? Yes, actually no. Corey Rico Mendes is now back out on track, as does Ahmed El Shor, but here's the painful side here. Corey Rico Mendes is ahead of Jake Martinez at the moment, but not in the way he would want it to be, as he's actually gonna have to move over for Jake Martinez. Is currently the lap car. He's been given the blue flags, but no blue flag rules are actually enforced, so Martinez is gonna have to pass Corey Rico Mendes the old-fashioned way. Ahmed El Shor is already lapped to quite a degree now, as he is now in between, looks to me, Wani Castanto and Hanari Miyuki. As we said, running out of the top 10, Angela Simpson 6th, Javier Lusby 7th, Wazif 8th, Castanto 9th, and Miyuki in the top 10 in what was a pretty chaotic start, as we got drivers clogging each other at the start. Rafael de Oliveira manages to continue in 17th place. Corey Rico Mendes is now going to have to find a way to at least get himself back into the top 10. Meanwhile, Ahmed El Shor is currently last place, currently one lap down. It's not looking good. Meanwhile, as far as the battle up front is concerned, Sean Gordy sets a fast slot in this race, 1:16.3 for him, as Jake Martinez is actually losing time behind Corey Rico Mendes, and that might actually open the door for Sean Go to find a way through. Lap 3 of the Spielberg Grand Prix has already commenced, and TP of course already set the fast lap race so far, 1:15.492. His immense race pace is what makes everyone fear him, but then again, he's the only driver who has some great amount of clean air. But with that being said, let's take a look into the race field monitor. Looks like a lot of the drivers are going for a very, very quick first stint here. None of the drivers are actually fuel more than 20 liters. So each of these drivers have to probably pit at the very latest on lap 8, 9, or 10. That's when the first pit stop activities commence. Jake Martinez currently still leads the Spielberg Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. Meanwhile, we have Sean Go already piling on the pressure on the race leader. Sean Go is looking for his first win for Gawagura. He's already scored a few pole positions in Hololive GT3. Well, one pole position in Hololive GT3, but never... Well, actually never the coveted win. He has come close to winning in multiple occasions, but of course has fallen short on multiple occasions. Obviously, he has not scored a pole position in Formula Hololive International either. But he will look to get himself into the record books as one of the race winners in Formula Hololive International. With his current driving here, he's only like 5/10 behind Jake Martinez. The ball is not in his court. The world is his oyster right now, or the world is his shark. As you can see here, Jake Martinez finally tries to make a move on Corey Rico-Mendez. Corey Rico's going to make it difficult for Jake. The two still side by side coming to the final corner. That actually has his run at the final corner compromised, and now you can see Sean Go coming in to try to swoop for an opportunity. Martinez on the inside of turn 1. Corey Rico-Mendez might not give him enough room. And now with the stubbornness of Corey Rico-Mendez comes the opportunity for both Sean Go and Liam Kai for them to have their eyes onto the race lead. Now we have Jake Martinez trying to find a way past Corey Rico-Mendez once again, but his run has been compromised. And now we have Sean Go looking to find a way through into the race lead on lap 5 of 71 here in the Spielberg Grand Prix. Shongo still trying to find some space, but right now no space has got to be found. That's great defensive driving for both Takamori cars, despite them on a different lap. While we are seeing some battles here between Javier Lusby and Angela Sims. Sims currently the better off of the two drivers. Meanwhile, we have Jay Martinez trying to make a move against Corey Rico-Mendez once again. Meanwhile, we have some side-by-side action between Iris' Sven Jensen and Yofi's Dan Evans, as they are still side-by-side coming into turn 7 and into turn 8. The battle just keeps on coming. Zeke Wimberly is rubbing his palms, looking for an opportunity to overtake the both of them. Javier Lusby, of course, making his move into the pit lane. That's the first driver to do so outside of the two cars who have crashed. Liam Kai makes his move on Sean Go, but will Go try to make a sweeping move around the outside to steal the place back. He has a good run off of the hairpin, if you would like to call it that. The tightest corner in the Red Bull Ring, turn 3. And now Sean goes back into defensive mode as he's trying to fend off Liam Kai, and he manages to do so. Both of them having a bit of history between each other. They've had some battles in between them at some stages in the season, and now to see them back battling each other like this is a nice sight to see. And as you can see here, Jake Martinez finally pulls away against the other pack of drivers. Nice to see everyone here tuning into this race here. If you like what you're seeing, you can drop a like to this stream, or you can also subscribe to the Adak-RMS channel to see more Hololive racing action. Basically, Hololive characters being represented by the fans, and of course they're trying their best to get themselves back into play here and trying to win for their respective Hololive members. Shinochitayu for Hoshinobu comes up next to make her pit stop. Donna Ellis looking for a move against Takeda Adachi there for 4th place, a debutant, having a very, very bright run for her. As you can see here, Ellis having a very good run there at the downhill back straight coming into turn 4. Ellis really pushing her car there, still going side by side against Adachi. Around the outside goes Ellis, but it looks to me that Adachi manages to shut the door as it was getting dangerous. Liam Kai currently 3rd place for Hakos Bales, and now Shongo looking to find a way back into the lead against Jake Martinez. And just wanted to check, we have Jake Martinez coming into the pits alongside Liam Kai. Ethan Brotherson is also about to be called, as well as Adachi Santiago, Don Ellis, and Ahmed El Ashor. Speaking of El Ashor, he's already come into the pit lane as we speak. Oshongo really trying to defend here against Liam Kai, but Liam Kai just hasn't found enough room to find a way past Sean Go. As we mentioned, the drivers coming into the pits have already made their way into the pit lane as it stands. Martinez having a very, very good race there, looking to be on course to win his second Formula Hololive race of the season for Maury Calliope. He has been a quality driver at this point, of course, representing Maury Calliope at this level. He has seen consistent finishes inside the top 5, inside the podium, and when he does able to get this win, oh man, it was very, very sweet for him as he finally comes to the pits alongside Liam Kai. It's going to be Sean Go for him to extend the lead by overcutting the drivers as it stands. Ooh, straddling the curbs just a bit there. Hopefully it's not too much for Sean Go as he's looking to get himself close to Corey Rico Mendes at least. Here's the rear end on board. Now coming to the front end on board. Let's take a look into Sean Go. Coming into the back straight, we are looking at Jake Martinez still stuck in the pit lane. Looks like it's going to be a full fill of fuel at this rate for him. That's why it's taking a lot of time for him. Oh, but for Liam Kai, he has already got himself back out. He's going to go for a 2-stop strategy. Not sure if this is the right strategy for him to be. Well, not sure if this is the right strategy for him at the moment. Right now he's doing very well for him to get some quick lap times here to at least extend his gap to Martinez, who is currently still stuck in the pit lane. Not sure if there's any problems with his car, but he is taking a good amount of time to get his car fuel. You can see here in the racial monitor that he is taking a good amount of time to get his car fueled away. Meanwhile, we have Sean Go also coming into the pits. Looks to me that he's already, well, not exactly lapped Jake Martinez just yet, but looking into Sean Go, he is also going to get a full tank of fuel. Hopefully it will be enough for him to beat Jake Martinez down the line. And now we have Aziz Mwasif now leading the Spielberg Grand Prix for Hyundai Risu. This is, of course, round 8 of Formula Hololive International for the 2023-2024 season. We've had some memorable moments, we had some unfortunate crashes, and some very, very nice wins throughout the season. We've seen mostly EN class cars. We've seen only EN class cars winning in the 7 points paying races in Formula Hololive International up to this point. In the debut race of the season, it was a Hololive Advent car, which is not even considered as a full-time entrant. It's mostly considered as a guest entrant. That was Jake Goodwin winning for Fuawa Biscard in the Austin Grand Prix, and then we have a full-time driver winning in the form of Wani Castanto for Oro Crony in the Phillip Island Grand Prix. And then round 3 would be the Manalika Super Prix that was actually won by Zeke Wimberly, the first of 3 for the American driver representing the Saplings. And then race 4, and then for the 4th race of the season, round 4, the Indonesia Grand Prix was won by Takeda Adachi, where he basically bulldozed his way to a win. And despite having a 10-second time penalty, he still managed to win, which is insane to think about. Race 5 of the season, round 5 of the season, which is the Swang Super Prix, it was a pole to win for Zeke Wimberly, as I believe he scored a Grand Slam for himself, which is also nice to see. Records being broken. Oh, and there's a contact! That's Dan Evans and Bernardo Santiago, as we mentioned about the other drivers here. Fortunately, Dan Evans is back onto the racetrack. That was a pretty weird side-by-side incident, but fortunately these two drivers are able to get their focuses back together, especially for Dan Evans, who manages to capture his car enough for him to get himself within striking range of this race. As we were saying, in the Malaysia Grand Prix, it was Jake Martinez who got the win in the Malaysia Grand Prix. But in the race prior to Sepang Super Prix, it was Zeke Wimberly who were triumphant, and he got a Grand Slam in the process. Pole position, fastest lap every single lap, and a race win at that round. So it was also quite memorable for Wimberly. And then coming to round 7, the last race for the in-class cars before the 5th Fast races, which is at Burram. It was Zeke Wimberly again who managed to win, but that's only because Angela Sims threw the race win away by crashing at the final corner with a few laps to go. And of course, Shongo unable to beat Zeke Wimberly at that race, allowing for Wimberly to tie and actually equal the record for most Formula Hololive wins overall. That is with Muhammad Shazrin Reza representing Him Memorial Luna. Of course, Shazrin Reza was supposed to retire his spot as a Him Memorial Luna driver, but the planned replacement did not actually go through with his plan to represent Him Memorial Luna. So Shazrin Reza has to return to the Him Memorial Luna car until there is a suitable replacement. So anyways, the race is still on, and who manages to win more races in Formula Hololive in general in both Japan and the international scene. In Japan, it's Muhammad Shazrin Reza with 3 wins to his credit in the 10 races that he does enter, well, 11 races that he does enter in his Formula Hololive Japan career up to this point. Meanwhile, Zeke Wimberly has won in 3 of the last 7. Obviously, it's currently skewed not in the right direction because Zeke Wimberly had less races to deal with compared to Shazrin's 11. But it's still a nice thing to note about the current situation here. But of course, when we want to talk about the current situation of race drivers. Meanwhile, as we have been seeing a completion of those who are looking to do a one-stop, we are noticing a bit of a thing here. Jake Martinez still ahead of Sean Go, actually. Now Martinez is actually just behind Angela Sims. Sean Go, on the other hand, is currently in 13th place. Don Ellis, 14th. We also have Liam Kai, who is currently leading this race and is looking to dispatch the lap car of Aziz Moazir, and he should be able to do so with not much of a fuss. The Hakus Bells driver are around the outside, and he manages to clear. Just wanted to check the remaining drivers who needs to pit. Dan Evans, Takeda Adachi, as well as Zeke Wimberly, Ethan Bertelsen, Liam Kai, and Ami Elashore and Hanori Miyuki. They are going to be looking to make yet another pit stop. Hopefully it will be enough for Liam Kai to find a way into the race lead, to fluke his way into the race lead if you like, given that he is representing Hololive's member of Chaos. Obviously Chaos is unpredictable, and as Liam Kai does it, he is basically hard to predict when it comes to performance. On one race he can do good, and on other races he's gonna do bad. So right now it's going to, yeah. So right now Liam Kai currently leads this race. He has to pit in the next 2 or 3 laps. Let's just hope that he's able to, at the very least, find his way into the race win. Javier Lusby currently should be in a net 4th place, pending Liam Kai's pit stop. And as it stands right now, with actually these drivers coming to the pits, I just wanted to notice here. Dan Evans, actually Aziz Muazif, he's currently up into 9th place after he's had also a good pit stop here. He actually jumps Martinez, so Aziz Muazif might actually have a realistic chance of winning the Spielberg Grand Prix after all, giving the first win to the ID class at this race. Sean Go has already completed his pit stop stint. Same goes for Corey recommended, but of course he's quite far back. Sven Jensen also completed his fuel stop here right now. He should be good for the remainder of the race. Amiral Shore should be good, but he's currently mired back in 18th place. Let me see, Liam Kai, he is going to be pitting this lap. Adachi is going to clear Aziz Wazif, who has already made his final one and only pit stop as it stands right now. Adachi is going to make his move. Ooh, very aggressive, and there was contact between Adachi and Wazif. Fortunately, both of them managing to continue, but will there be a lot of damage in these two cars? Wazif currently leads the drivers who have made their final pit stop, or rather their one and only pit stops. Santiago, just wanted to check. He needs to pit again. Zeke Wimberly needs to pit again. Same goes for Ethan Bertelsen and Wani Castanto, Hanari Miyuki, as well as Adachi and Liam Kai. So Aziz Wazif currently leads the drivers who have already made his full pit stop, so he will be leading in this net race lead at the moment. Martinez second, Sims third, Shango fourth, Don Elise fifth, Javier Lusby sixth, Sven Jensen seventh, Rafael de Oliveira 8th at the moment, Tayo 9th, but that will change sometime soon with Santiago and Bertelsen's extended trip into the pit stop here. And also we're looking at Liam Kai already making his move into the pits as it stands. And here is where Aziz Wazif is, currently getting his lap back. Now the race is on. And as always, thanks for watching the stream up to this point. Feel free to drop something in the live chat, and we'd love to hear your thoughts about this race so far. Who's your favorites to win the Spielberg Grand Prix? And get it talking. And we'd like to hear the comments and the live chat. And now as it stands here, Hanari Miyuki is now going to temporarily take the lead of this race, the Spielberg Grand Prix. Very well there for the Coburgers. Miyuki, of course, had that second place finish in the Phillip Island Grand Prix. Oh, and that's Zeke Wimberly. Zeke Wimberly has spun. Looks like he's made contact with someone, and for the driver who's currently sitting third in Formula Hololive International standings, that's not going to do well for him and his chances of getting at least a decent points haul. And as it stands right now, Wimberly is going to drop down the order in the championship standings. And talk about an unfortunate incident for Wimberly. He's done very well in the season up to this point. And right now there is a bit of a blooper right now. We know we have Aziz Wazif finally clearing Takeda Adachi. And then against the run of play, Takeda Adachi, who doesn't need to spend too much time in the pit lane with that overcut strategy, manages to get himself in second, ahead of Jake Martinez and Angela Sims. Which really speaks volumes to the current qualities here. Also we have Liam Kai, who I have confirmed he will be good for the remainder of this race, has managed to outsmart everyone and find himself into the race lead of the Spielberg Grand Prix. All the dice has been rolled, and he has rolled a 12, Liam Kai, and right now he's going to be in a very dangerous position to win the Spielberg Grand Prix if nothing goes wrong. And now we have Zeke Wimberly coming into the pit lane right now. That leaves only two drivers who have yet to make their final pit stops. That's Hanari Miyuki and Wani Castanto. And now the driver in front of him is, of course, the hometown driver, Rocoy Rico Mendes, currently mired back in 18th place. Just wanted to check back onto the gaps to the leader on where Rico Mendes is. He's actually one lap down to the race leader. Right now that's Hanari Miyuki and Wani Castanto, but he will only just be... He's about to get lapped to Liam Kai at this rate. And right now Liam Kai is currently in a dangerous position to win this race if other drivers are not going to be careful. Just excuse us, we're gonna take a short break as we're gonna need to also adjust something on Twitch. And we have confirmation here that Costanto and Miyuki have finally come into the pit lane, these two drivers. And right now we have Liam Kai finally clearing the two and Grand Prix here in the Red Bull Ring. Meanwhile, we still have Miyuki and Costanto quite stationary as Miyuki finally gets her car moving once again, tries to beat Martinez but isn't able to. Same goes for Juan Costanto, but right now he's going to be set to be only down in 8th place, but that should be all of the drivers making the pit stop as it stands. And with that being said, let's take a look into the progress charts. Hanari Miyuki has been absolutely amazing. Since the start of the race, she has gained 8 positions from her 13th place start. She is now up into 5th place. Meanwhile, also hats up to Aziz Mwaze, who's gained 6 positions from 8th place to 2nd. As it stands, he will extend his lead in the Formula Hololive International standings, with Jake Martinez currently down in 4th. And crucially, Zeke Wimberly down in 17th. And Takeda Adachi currently in 3rd place. Of course, not much is separating between them, but as it stands right now, they are doing very, very well there. The only driver to go a lap down to the leader right now is currently Ahmed El Ashor, and the Puerto Rican Mendes is soon to join him. That is, if Liam Kai is able to get a clean overtake done, and right now, nothing comes of it for now. I think that's complete here in the Red Bull Ring for the 2024 Spielberg Grand Prix. We've seen some great racing action at the start. We've seen some crashes here and there as well. Interesting pit strategies. Liam Kai managed to get his 2-stop strategy to work like a charm. And that, of course, was actually unpredictable, because no one was expecting Liam Kai to be in the race lead still with a 2-stop strategy. But here we are. That just shows you how chaos can play a huge role in raising the excitement factor, and also to provide some unexpected results here and there. Currently, Liam Kai, who has been doing well for the Sewer Rats, who support Hakus Bales all the way. He's doing very, very well to get himself up front. Hopefully, he doesn't have to deal with some baby language that that Bay had to deal with when Jadon was a thing. I think for the Hololive fans, they know what Jadon is, but if I'll see if I can remember the details here. I believe it was a stream between Bay and some of the Hololive Indonesia members, and some of the Hololive Indonesia members were speaking in gibberish. They came up with a random word, Jadon, just to play with Bay. Bay wanted to know if Jadon was a real word and what does it really mean, and the ID class and the ID members just play around and say Jadon is Jadon. And so Bay's desperation to understand what Jadon means was made viral on the internet, and Jadon Masol was made as a result of what Bay and of the interaction between Bay and the Hololive Indonesia members. I believe it was Kobo and Kyla? But yeah, when Bay also had a dramatic pose in the 5th Fest where she basically knelt down and gave quite an emotional run in the stages, there was also the caption, Jadon my soul, with Bay in the backdrop, with Bay basically kneeling down emotionally in the process. And of course, this was in the 5th Fest, and she was wearing the bright uniforms at the time. So, and that obviously lends to the current context of Liam Kai, who had been struggling the entire season. He has been knocked out of... Well, no, not exactly. He's not actually knocked out of title contention up to this point. But as it stands right now, he is only good enough to be in 9th place. A win here would see him get up to at least 7th with 2 races to go, but his odds of winning the Formula Hololive International title is quite slim, if we want to be realistic. And if you guys follow something on Twitter, I'm still calling it Twitter, Don Ellis was quickest in the free practice session leading into qualifying. But unfortunately, currently for Elise, events in the race conspired against her. Also not helping was the qualifying. She was comfortably beaten by the stalwarts of Formula Hololive International, as Santiago has made his move against Ethan Brotherson for 4 points compared to 1. I would like to know if Bay has moved on from the Jadon thing and basically not have it stuck inside her head for much. But, you know, Bay, let's talk about something else about Bay. Now, as far as Bay's performances go in her songs, in her performances, she absolutely nails the choreography. And obviously is what we call a stunner girl, where she basically stuns the people who gaze upon her as she makes stamps her authority as a Hololive idol. And right now Liam Kai is doing very, very well to reflect that onto the racetrack. Currently in the lead at the moment. He has also seen some history leading races up front. Well, let's not get backtracked on Liam Kaiser's 4.5 second lead at the moment, and let's take a look into the battle between Adachi and Martinez. Also taking a look into a battle between Sims and Go. Jake Martinez is going to dive down the inside. Already alongside Adachi, but Adachi has a better run around the outside. Great defensive driving for him. Meanwhile, Sean Go is trying to find a way past Angela Sims as well. Meanwhile, Martinez trying to get close, but not close enough. As for Sims trying to defend against Go, not enough for now. Here's the onboard for Angela Sims in the number 33 Anya Melfisa car. Anya Melfisa, of course, has provided continuous support to this car. Nice to see that you have Hololive members supporting the multitude of Formula Hololive cars up to this currently at this point. As Angela Sims currently tries to get herself up into 5th place. The next driver up front is of course Hanori Miyuki. Azimuaziv currently 4.8 seconds. He's lost actually 0.3 of a second the previous lap to Liam Kai. As even with Liam Kai still stuck behind the lap car of Corey Rico Mendes. Corey Rico Mendes isn't going to be scoring points at this stage of the race, but he will at the very least try to bring upsets and see if he can get his fellow Takamori teammate Jake Martinez up closer to Liam Kai. That might be his target right now, but well, at the end of the day, we just don't know what's it going to be. Meanwhile, we have Dawn Ellis and Javier Lusby side by side as Ellis tries to defend her 9th place. Lusby now on the inside line, coming into the back straight into turn 4. Lusby dives it down the inside. There might be contact. There's no contact. Both of the drivers still leaving just about enough space. And Elise with the slightly late braking for her to still maintain her spot up front. And by up front, I mean in 9th place right now. I mean, you can see here, Lusby's trying to find as much space as possible on the track. Will it be enough? The answer is no. At least we have some great defensive driving. These two debutants already lining up to charge on how good they can be on the racetrack. Into turn 1. Javier Lusby trying to get a very good exit. You can see here Ellis kind of struggle at in between turn 1, and her exit has been compromised somewhat as a result. Lusby is gonna try to get himself closer to Elise, as Elise, she's trying to defend against Javier Lusby, who of course replaced Kate Garcia in the number 03 Assetto car after Garcia had left the ARO following the 5th fest. Right now, nothing too significant to report at the moment. But meanwhile, we have Jake Martinez now coming down the inside after having a great run into between turns 7 and 8. Now goes side by side with Adachi for the 3rd place spot. Ooh, Adachi nearly pushes Martinez out on the outside. And now both of them still almost wheel to wheel coming into turn 1. It's a bit ugly, but still both of them inside this race for now. Martinez is trying to find as much space as possible and enough of not finding as many opportunities as possible against Takeda Adachi, who's currently holding on to 3rd. Liam Kai has been amazing throughout this race so far. He's already still pulling away against Aziz Moazif. Meanwhile, Sean Go and Angela Sim side by side. Burleson and Evans also on the battle of their own as well. So many battles to report. Sims and Go side by side into turn 4. And it looks to me that Sean Go might just be able to get his car in the right position. But if he can have enough of a space into turn 6. Ooh, really hanging around the outside there, Sean Go. Will he be able to hang around? Turn 7. Sean Go on the inside of turn 8. Sean Go still alongside. And it looks to me that the best of this battle will go down to the final 2 corners. For this lap at least. It's going to be Sean Go still hanging around the inside. Sims is not giving up. She's trying all she can to defend her position. And that she does. Amazing driving between these two. Meanwhile, we have Bertelsen, Evans, and Wimberly also side by side between each other. Wimberly's going to try to get himself back into the points. Limit as much damage as possible. As Wimberly tries to find a way past Evans. You might be seeing the same thing between Wimberly and Evans here. But Dan Evans manages to cut Wimberly out. He manages to defend his 16th place. Aziz Moazif is doing pretty okay right now for Ayunda Risu, as he's currently doing pretty okay at the moment, currently in 2nd place. Currently he is 6.6 seconds behind Liam Kai, who is currently inside the race lead at the moment. Still stuck behind Puerto Rico Mendes, who's going very well to maintain his spot on the lead line. Meanwhile, we have Tayo being overtaken by Bernardo Santiago, even Evans making a move against Ethan Bertelsen. 2 overtakes and at the same time in 2 different areas. Just shows you the quality of racing that we are seeing at the moment. Here's Lusby, already making his statement clear that he wants to get Dawn Ellis, her 9th place that is. And now coming into the exit of turn 3, Lusby with the opportunity to get a good exit. Apologies if there's going to be some slight awkward silence, as of course there's still only one commentator to report. Ooh, you can see here, ooh, gets very close there. Jake Martinez there on Takeda Adachi. Martinez is showing a lot of pace for the deadbeats as they're trying to see their man get into 3rd place for Morty Calliope. Ooh, still providing some pressure onto Adachi, but will it be enough? And Martinez now having a very good run coming into the inside of turn 3, and they're still side by side. Martinez and Adachi. Adachi trying to defend. Takadachi's hoping that Adachi can be a serious wall for them to hope that they can defend against Martinez. But Martinez is gonna be an unstoppable force as it stands. But the immovable object that is Adachi continues to defend. Great defending there from Adachi to block Martinez's progress. Oh, you can see here he's really pushing it at turn 7 and 8, coming into the final 2 corners. Oh, the tires are squealing there. They're at the edge of their grip. Oh, and you could see here Martinez had to back out mid-corner while Adachi places his car strategically at the right place. That was great driving there from Adachi to defend his position. Places his car at the right position, at exactly the right position for him to maintain his spot in 3rd place. Looks to me that Kai and Wasif have matched each other in terms of pace finally. But if Liam Kai pushes himself way too much, as he's currently stuck behind 3 lap cars, with Burleson and Wimberley now joining Corey Rico Mendes. It's going to be a case of whether or not Azim Wasif can take this opportunity to move into the race lead. Lap 32 has started here in Spielberg. We're about to reach the halfway stage as Liam Kai currently finds a way to get himself in front. As you can see, the tires are also getting degraded to quite a degree here. It's quite the evening here in Spielberg. Here's where the sun is at the moment as we are now approaching 5 p.m. Well, 5:02 p.m. Central European time. As the race is about to conclude before 6 p.m., there should be enough sunlight and daylight for each of these drivers to still race effectively. Martinez currently 4th for Mori Calliope. Again, tries his luck against Takeda Adachi, but of course Hanare Miyuki in 5th place is eyeing up an opportunity for her to get herself into the top 4 if Martinez continues to attack with no result and with Adachi's stonewall defending. It's a pretty good color combination there for the Kobo Kainero number 40. Of course, Miyuki is a Koboker a fan of Kobo Kainero. Yeah, she loves her Pisokaki antics, her sudden voice from out of nowhere. Hanare Miyuki as well as Kobo Kainero were pretty okay in the Split B race and Stage 2 concert respectively. As you can see here, the shade has already started flying here in the Red Bull Ring, especially at the exit of turn 1, which also includes which we also wanted to add at the turns 9 and 10, in between turns 9 and 10. And looking at the speed test, she's doing pretty well there, about 7 kilometers off from the fastest speed at the speed trap at the exit of coming into the entry of turn 4. Now looking into the current situation here, Hanare Miyuki, of course, currently still up front right now. Nice to see that we still have people watching the Formula Hall International stream. Meanwhile, we have Angela Sims and Sean Go still in a battle of their own. Static cameras not helping us much, but we can see here Shango, I think, has a very good exit there off of the final corner, coming into turn 1 for them to start lap 34. Ooh. And now we got Jake Martinez getting close there to Takeda Adachi there at the hairpin. And you can see here Jake Martinez on the inside, Adachi still around the outside, trying to trap Martinez of sorts. As you can see here, they're still side by side coming into turn 4. And again, Adachi places his car at the right place to cut out Martinez's advancement, and he's doing very, very well to maintain his spot in the podium places there, Adachi. But here comes Martinez again, coming down the inside of turn 9 and into turn 10. The cloud covers have completely enveloped the circuit, and you can see here again Adachi makes his trademark defensive maneuver. Clouds envelop the circuit as it stands. The conditions will cool off as it also stands, and this will aid in the tire wear. It slows down the wear of the tire, and you can see here Jake Martinez might try again, whipping around the outside, and he might just do enough to finally clear Takeda Adachi. The unstoppable force would eventually tumble down the immovable object, which actually makes the object movable in the end anyways, as Jake Martinez now finally gets himself up into 3rd place. Now he's gonna try to limit the damage done by Aziz Muazif right now. Remember, the gap between 2nd and 3rd in terms of points is 25 points. So as it stands right now, Muazif will extend his championship lead, but only by about 25 points. Meanwhile, we have Go and Sims at it for about quite some time now, with Sims trying to get himself up into 6th. Go is going to try to defend. And he has a good run there, Shango. Coming around the inside of turn 9 to force the issue against Sims. Ooh, but it's not going to be enough for Go. Sims now gets that into 6th place. Jake Martinez has cleared Zeke Wimberly and Rico Mendez. Now makes Aziz Muaziz's job slightly harder for him to catch the race leader. But he probably doesn't mind too much right now. He's currently, as far as his battle with his championship rivals go, he's currently leading it. Aziz Muazif very calm behind the wheel right now. Meanwhile, we have Don Ellis and Javier Aluspi once again. Don Ellis now getting herself back into 9th place. Javier Aluspi now has no response, as Ellis now gets into 9th place. We have now officially reached the halfway stage of the Spielberg Grand Prix. He's going to try to clear 2 cars at once. Might get slowed down in the process as he was trying to find a way past both Yoshitayo and Dan Evans. Evans is going to try to get his lap back. Will he make the outrageous dive bomb down the inside? Zeke Wimberly is going to be sniffing for an opportunity to also get his lap back. Doesn't really slow down Liam Kai. Liam Kai is absolutely ripping it right now against lap cars. Here is Evans is on board, as the tires are now squealing for grip, pleading to the drivers that they should not be tortured anymore. Fortunately, this is going to have to be the case, as there's a lot of medium to high-speed corners like this one here in the Red Bull Ring, and these tires are obviously subject to a lot of these. Anyways, we have Liam Kai now having a very good run against the other lap car, Yoshitayo. Yoshitayo might have something to respond to Liam Kai. They're still side by side. That caused a lot of discomfort there to Liam Kai. There's now going to be some sort of 3-wide action between these drivers here. Dan Evans on the inside. Liam Kai has to concede and now tries to find the opportunity against Liam Kai, and that is a spin for Dan Evans. And he has basically put himself out of contention for the race throughout, and that will be him out of the race. Unfortunate for Evans, he tried to do his 70s touring car move. Unfortunately, that it has not worked. He was Wazif. Oh, there's damage to Puerto Rico Mendez there, especially on his rear wing. There was contact, I believe, between Evans and Mendez, which resulted in Mendez having a damaged rear wing. He might get fixed if he comes into the pits, but as it stands right now, he's going to be very, very slow at the moment. Wazif should be able to dispatch Puerto Rico Mendez soon, especially in these high-speed sections where they're in the verge of... Oh, and there's also Sean Go! Sean Go has also crashed out! Two crashes in the span of 30 seconds involving two separate drivers. Dan Evans and Sean Go have to be absolutely devastated that they are currently in the position that they are at the moment. Go is able to get himself back in 12th place. Evans back in 19th. For Sean Go, this is not what he has been looking for, especially in his battle against Angelo Sims. I believe there was a bad contact between Sims and Go, which is absolutely unfortunate. Here's Looseby trying to find a way past Ellis once again. Meanwhile, Liam Kai has finally cleared the last of the lap car, that is Hinochi Tayo. Here is Aziz Wazir. The gas only dropped down to 3.6 seconds, but of course, all eyes are on Wazir if he's able to clear past Puerto Rico Mendez. You can see here, despite having quite a damaged rear wing, he's still continuing on in 16th place. He's trying his best to nurse the car and to manage that oversteer that this car is currently having at the moment, because the front has more grip than the rear, and the rear will slip out more often than not in the middle of the corner due to the differences in grip levels. So, as it stands, Puerto Rico Mendez is going to struggle in the corners, and let's see if this affects Aziz Wazir much. We have about 32 laps here in the Red Bull Ring left for the drivers to contest. Oh, you can see here there might be some battles here between Wimberly and Tayo. Wimberly is now on his first step on limiting the damage. Let's see if he can get himself into the second step, which is getting himself into 14th place, which currently is occupied by Hinochi Tayo. No driver is currently had a gap lower than 1 second to the driver up front, except Zeke Wimberly, at least for position and not in a lap car capacity, which we will count Liam Kai out. Liam Kai has Bernardo Santiago in front of him. The split C winner of the Capture the Moment Grand Prix race now has to deal with the current race leader, which is Liam Kai. Liam Kai has to be extremely careful in his moves. He shouldn't be too aggressive coming into the first corner. This is where some accidents have happened, especially between especially for Go and Evans. But you can see both of them still added between each other. Oh, and that's another contact between Wazif and Puerto Rico Mendez. But fortunately, Mendez gets himself back up into second, and now we have Jake Martinez now coming into the mix. Now coming around the outside of Aziz Wazir. Here's where the championship leaders fight. Martinez 19 points behind Wazif in the current standings. Adaji also has to deal with the lap car of Ethan Bertelsen, but that's not the focus point that we are going to have to deal with. Wazif now has to defend against Martinez. Martinez is going to go the long way around the outside, but Wazif is going to try to place his car correctly and efficiently and strategically in the right place. And right now, Wazif is trying his absolute best to do so, but he has been shuffled, unfortunately. Heartbreak a bit for Moisif as Martinez now gets into second, and as it stands, the championship lead that Moisif had will be gone and will be usurped by Jake Martinez, and the gap will be 6 points as it stands. A crucial battle in the championship for the crown, for the trophy, for all the glory in the Formula Hololive International season for 2023-2024. Right now, it's working as intended for Martinez, and for Moisif, he has his work cut out and almost undone. And now Moisif will be the one chasing. Liam Kai currently has a comfortable 10-second lead over Martinez and Moisif, and right now he just needs to drive a trouble-free race with 30 laps to go. Meanwhile, we have Lusby and Ellis, both debutants in Formula Hololive International for this round for Feshazeta and Craig Jolly respectively. And right now, Don Ellis is going to be good enough for 8th place as it stands, unless she suddenly finds a strategic masterstroke, which gets her up into the lead of the race as it stands. We're not going to be seeing much from Ellis. What we can see here, we have one car who is on the verge of being out of title contention, and one car already out of title contention. And right now we have Javier Lusby already just racing for fun at this rate. He's not going to be racing for the championship. Meanwhile, we have also Don Elise trying to get the Cragioli car within championship range, but that's not going to be the case for long, as Zeke Wembley makes his move against Hino Chitayo for 14th. That's step 2 done. Not sure if step 3 is within reach for Wembley. Oh, and that's Don Ellis and Javier Lusby. They made contact. Both of them spun out at the middle of turn 3. But both of them have been able to get themselves continuing on. Lost some time, and that might open the door for Sven Jensen, who has been average this entire race, for him to get some few extra positions for Iris. And now have his battle for second place now expanded to 3 cars, as now Jake Martinez has to be stuck behind an ailing Corey Rico Mendez, and now you can see here Takeda Adachi is gonna take his claim into 3rd place this time. The driver in front is Aziz Moisif for Ayunda Risu. Adachi down the inside of Moisif, and at the same time Martinez down the inside of Corey Rico Mendez, but you can see he's still stuck behind Corey Rico Mendez. Will he be able to finally clear? Yes, he does. But Moisif has a bit of homework left to do, because he still needs to clear Adachi, and he's almost able to do so. Not quite yet at the moment. And now Moisif is gonna settle for 3rd, but will it be enough? Adachi doesn't have a good exit at turn 7 and 8. Now Moisif is gonna find a way past the ailing Corey Rico Mendez, and if he is able to do so, he's gonna have a good chance of challenging Jake Martinez for him to retain his spot in the championship lead. Coming into turn 1, Moisif knows that he has to be careful at this corner. Leave enough space. Don't hit the wrong places. There might be something wrong in that turn 1 there for Moisif. And now you can see here Takeda Adachi is now coming in for round 2 of this battle between Ina and Risu. Adachi down the inside, and that is almost comfortable for him, but he's just able to easily get him ahead of Moisif. He's now dropped down to 4th place. Look at the 5th place driver, Hanari Miyuki. No, that's not Hanari Miyuki, I don't think. That's Ethan Bertelsen. Meanwhile, Moisif now continues to attack. He's not giving up on this third place. He knows the championship battle is on the line. We've got 3 championship protagonists, by the way. Adachi, Martinez, and Wazif duking it out in the top 2 spots. And finally, we have Adachi finally edging ahead of Wazif, but not for long, as Wazif continues to attack. He's not giving up once again. He knows he's got pace to remain ahead of Adachi, but Adachi knows he needs to defend. Ooh, there's just a lot of things going on here. Adachi, of course, is currently 70 points, about 70 points, 67 points, I believe, behind Aziz Wazif in the championship, and doing so and currently putting him down in 4th place will not just help Takeda Adachi, it will help Jake Martinez, because the gaps will not just be at around 6 points, it will be at about 31 points. Okay, maybe not be 31 points, maybe lower at around 21 points. But still, the ball will be further into Martinez's court at this rate if Wazif stays in the 4th place. Shango already crossing the line. Same goes for Dan Evans, both of them who have had some spins at the exit of turn 1. Managing to get themselves back in, managed to get themselves back in the race, although the races have already been compromised at this point. Of course, any driver within 400 points of the championship leader, and in this case it will be Jake Martinez, will still be eligible to compete for the Formula Hololive International title with 2 races to go. And as it stands at the moment, Don Ellis will be out of it entirely. Currently sitting in 8th place. And also looking into other drivers who may also be affected, we also want to take a look at Hanari Miyuki, Sean Go, especially since he's down in 12th, and Bernardo Santiago, Bertelsen, Evans, Yuri Rafael de Oliveira. For Liam Guy, he's gonna be within touching distance. Well, not exactly within touching distance, but still in it for the international title for Formula Hololive. For Ahmed Lashore as well, he's probably going to be out of it as well. Angela Sims currently is up in 6th place, so she's going to still be in the hunt as it stands. Juan Castanto is currently in 7th, so he should still be in the hunt, but he will be on the he will be nearing the outside looking in. Corey Tremendous will not have any positive things to note, so he might be out of it entirely at this rate. Adachi, Wimberly, Martinez, and Wazif currently battling it out. Well, 3 of the 4 currently battling it out in a battle for 2nd as it stands, but right now the gaps have absolutely opened up between Martinez and Adachi. As you can see, Adachi has been stuck behind the ailing Corey Rico Mendez for quite some time now, and he's been unable to clear Corey Rico Mendez also in the process. And of course, Wimberly is currently down in 14th place, so it won't be a 3-horse race for the title up to this point. Of course, Aziz Wazif is currently the leader. There might be a 3-wide battle here between Adachi and Corey Rico Mendez and Aziz Wazif. And now you can see Hanori Miyuki is going to get herself into the mix. She wants to still maintain her challenge into the Formula Hololive International title. Oh, you can see here Castanto and Sims. Where did Castanto come from all these from all this race? Castanto now trying to find a way past Angela Sims after being quiet this entire race. Castanto's finally going to try to make a move for himself for the cronies. Castanto currently sitting 6th in Formula Hololive International. Needs a good result for him to maintain his spot inside the top 6 as it stands. Especially given that Zeke Wimberly is currently not having the best race at the moment. He's currently down in 14th. Wasif still trying to find a way past Takeda Adachi. Fortunately, these drivers already cleared the alien car of Corey Rica Mendes. For some reason, he's still the first car outside the points. And now back into the current transmission here. We have now started lap 50 of the Spielberg Grand Prix. And right now, Liam Kai is leading Jake Martinez by 14 seconds. And as it stands, he will essentially cut the gap between himself and Martinez by 25 points. But given that Liam Kai is currently well done in 9th place, it will do him quite well coming into 2 races to go. But will it be enough for him to properly challenge for the title coming into the season finale at Indianapolis? That one we might have to be on standby. As you can see here, Adachi trying to find a way past Hinoshi Tayo, but Wasif also trying to find a way past Adachi. Here's Aziz Mwazif averaging 278 kilometers per hour on that speed trap. That should be expected from all of these cars. Nothing too special as it stands. And as you can see here, Liam Kai continues to control this race with quite a conviction right now. He's about to start lap 51. He's about to get into the laps complete, and there it is at the moment. Here is Takeda Adachi trying to find a way past Hinoshi Tayo at the expense of his racing line. That's not going to do him any favors here. Oh, he squirms at the exit of turn 9. That's going to open the door for Mwazif. Not good enough for Mwazif, but there was a glimmer of hope. Back into the progress chart, just wanted to check. Again, we have Sven Jensen gaining 8 positions from the start. He started 18th, now into 10th, as well as Hanari Miyuki, who of course started 13th, now up to 5th place, the biggest gainers, of course, in this race so far. Sean Go is now the biggest loser, starting 2nd this race. In this race, now dropped down to 12 after he has made contact with Angela Sims. Meanwhile, we had Corey Rica Mendes trying to pull one back against Aziz Mwaze with a damaged car. You can see here these two drivers still going side by side, I believe. You can see here Corey Rica Mendes with an alien car. He's going to give a lot of trouble to Mwazif, and potentially opening the door for him to lose more points if Mwazif cannot keep up with his defensive driving and not have enough pace to attack. That's gonna leave him exposed to more drivers in the points positions to attack Mwazif. Ooh, and as you can see here, that's still status quo at the moment here. Mwazif still trying to find a way past Takeda Adachi here. Adachi is still directly in front of Mwazif. He knows that any mistake done by Adachi will be enough for Mwazif to steal something away, as the sun is properly setting here in Spielberg. The race is now currently at its closing stages. Down the inside goes Takeda Adachi against Hinoshi Tayo. Oh, it looks like he has a very poor exit there based on the radar. And now on board Mwazif, will it be enough? But it looks like he's so far back that any potential move of a move for position is going to be unrealistic. And there he goes. Mwazif currently looking for a gap. He's looking for a gap. There might be a gap, but he's not close enough. Oh, nearly losing the race entirely if he didn't get his car under control. Great control there by Mwazif to get himself back, get himself still within reach of this race. Now you can see Adachi trying to make a move against Hinoshi Tayo. Tayo is not gonna give him any room, and now that's gonna open the door for Mwazif to try to find a way past Adachi into turn 1. Might be 3 wide action. That's not gonna look good if Corey Rica Mendes decides to butt in. There's contact! And it looks like both drivers are involved. That's Takeda Adachi out of the race. The Ninamai driver, who has been in 4th and 3rd throughout this entire race, is now at the outside of turn 1 on the runoff area. Turn 1, it was promising for the Takodachis, and now it's come undone. And now this Moazev might just have to thank Kuriko Menace in a sense, because this will go down as a racing incident, as 3 drivers were trying to go for one single real estate. But of course, one had to pay the price, and Takeda Adachi is one of them. And if he doesn't get to restart his car, that's gonna cause trouble for the Takodachi, as they might be forced out of title contention. Remember, the Takodachis right now, and Ninamai Nanis and Takeda Adachi are currently sitting in 4th place, around 7 points behind Aziz Moaz, and as it stands, it's going to extend by quite the margin. Talk about heartbreak. While Angela Sims gets herself into 5th place, Miyuki up into 4th. Wazif is in 3rd now. That's what he wanted to see, at least when it comes to limiting the damage against Jake Martinez. Oh, and Jake Martinez really pushing against Zeke Wimberly, his fellow championship contender. Of course, his other fellow championship contender, Zeke Wimberly, is currently a lap down to Jake Martinez. But of course, Wimberly is going to make it difficult for Martinez, as he is forced to go for an alternate racing line to try to stay away from Wimberly, or to stay away from making contact. And as it stands right now, Martinez is his work cut out against Wimberly. Wimberly again defends for all he can against Martinez. Adachi still couldn't get his car restarted, and as it stands, it will be game over for him. Not what the Takodachis or Ina would have wanted. It had gone so promisingly fine for them up until that point. So unfortunate for the Takodachis, and currently Adachi is out there. He's fuming that his chances have been slipped away, because apparently he's thinking that Kuriko Mendes is the sole cause of it, but I don't think that might be in his mind right now. His mind is probably currently in Wazif, who didn't give him any space. But we'll have to wait and see. The gaps between the top 3 have opened up to 28 seconds between Wazif and Liam Kai. Liam Kai, of course, has not won an ARO race in his career, although there was this one win when, of course, he was listed as Kento Kai, when he got the win on track for Aki Rosenthal in the Suzuka 500 in Hololive GT3, but of course was given a time penalty for causing a collision with Isagaji Mikolev. So right now he's looking for his actual first win in Formula Hololive competitions and ARO competitions in general at this rate. And as you can see here, Jake Martinez now finally getting his move done on Wimberly, but Wimberly should be able to get his defensive driving up to the task that Wimberly needs, and right now forces Martinez off wide and forces him offline and compromises his exit in the process. Meanwhile, Martinez goes down the inside of Wimberly once again. Wimberly hangs it around the outside, has a very good run around the outside, forces Martinez to think again. Still side by side between these two cars on different laps. These drivers are currently in their own championship battles. Wimberly wants to get past Renato Santiago to further limit the damage done by Martinez and Moazif, and maybe Liam Kai. But right now, both of them, making contact. I think these two drivers, Wimberly and Martinez. And right now, Wimberly manages to hang on in second place. Liam Kai is absolutely enjoying this process at the moment, with these two drivers basically taking time away from each other. Liam Kai now manages to extend his gap between himself and second to 15 seconds. He, of course, has Dan Evans in front, as well as Sean Go and Yuri Rafael de Oliveira currently in 10th place for Pavolia rating. And currently we have a bit of a news there for Sean Go. Sean Go has been relaying to his team radio that what's the condition of the Ollie car right now, currently driven by Don Elise. Right now they haven't been responding, but they've already given him a response. Right now Elise is currently in 7th place. That was when he was currently back. It was back when Go was battling Sims for 5th place. But finally, after all that was said, after the contact was said and done, Go has been focused on getting this race finally done once and for all. Angelo Sims currently in 5th place, and you can see here Sims now, or rather it's Dan Evans side by side with Liam Kai, and if these two drivers can steal lap times even further, it's going to be very, very interesting. Anyways, we have Jake Martinez fighting against Zeke Wimberly. Both of them know that anything in the championship is at stake. And as you can see here, Martinez looking for an opportunity again against Wimberly. And Adachi is still remaining stationary in that number 17 car, not having any movement on that car, unfortunately. Lap 58, of course, is currently underway with about 14 laps to go here in Red Bull Ring in the Spielberg Grand Prix. Down the inside again goes Jake Martinez, but it's not going to be enough. Sun still setting, but not into the pace that some may think. Total darkness has not enveloped the circuit just yet. Adachi, of course, is still stranded at the exit of turn 1, but currently the director still says race on. And as you can see here, there's not much change in the order at the moment here. Sean Go is still fighting against Yuri Rafael de Oliveira. Sean Go now down the inside of de Oliveira for the top 10 spot after Go had his misfortune of crashing at turn 1. And as you can see here, that's going to open the door here for Liam Kai to pass Sean Go, as he couldn't get the pass done on the Oliveira. Ooh. Ow! And that's Liam Kai! He spun out, but manages to continue. Oh, that was quite a heart-stopping moment for Liam Kai, as we thought that he's going to be out of the race. There was quite the heavy contact between Liam Kai and Sean Go. Fortunately, he's able to continue. Fortunately, he's able to get himself continuing in this race despite all that, which is very, very nice to see. Of course, that 16-second gap has now dropped down to a 12-second gap. Jake Martinez, of course, is still behind Zeke Wimberly and Bernardo Santiago. So Kai still has some air of fresh relief to breathe. Meanwhile, Miyuki's going to be enjoying this result at the moment for the Cobra Curse. P4 for her. It's going to help her end the progress here at the moment. Meanwhile, we have Angela Sims currently in 5th place, looking for an opportunity to get past Miyuki for 4th place. The gaps between them are currently at 1.5 seconds. Chongo currently in 11th. Rafael Oliveira in 10th. Lap 61 has passed, 60 laps complete here in the Red Bull Ring. 11 laps to go in the Spielberg Grand Prix, and Liam Kai has had great amounts of control in this race so far. None of these drivers now have the ability to set fastest laps, as their tires have now really have been secondhand right now. As you can see here, Liam Kai, despite having that spin there, manages to find 2 seconds against Martinez, as Martinez is still stuck behind lap cars. Both these lap cars are currently in a battle between each other for position, and that would be Zeke Wimberly and Bernardo Santiago. That is a battle for 12th place. Also, with all these crashes happening, Corey Jimenez is now up in 14th place despite having a damaged rear wing. Yoshitayo is also going to escape with 1 point. Dan Evans having that incident, but because he was mired in midfield that time at the time of the crash, he's now down in 18th. Emmanuel Shore has not had a great race for Kyle Kowalski right now. He's currently down in 17th. Ethan Burleson down in 16th for Nana Shimomi. They will not be scoring points as it stands. Sims against Miyuki. The auto grabs drop down to 0.4 seconds, as these drivers are now still stuck behind Ethan Brooksson, as we mentioned. Oh, there was a yellow flag reminder at turn 1 there. Just make sure everyone just stays calm. But that's mostly because Takeda Adachi's stranded car is still there. There is a yellow flag reminder onto the timing tower, but right now it's still Takeda Adachi is currently in a dangerous position here. I'm not sure if we can actually call a safety car right now. You can see here De Oliveira has been under pressure from Shango at that final corner. There might be a move done. In the inside of Shango, nearly ends in absolute tears. Dan Evans, a lap down, tries to pile on the pressure on Shango. He's got a very, very good exit there. He's now unlapped himself from Shango. Dan Evans is going to try to challenge De Oliveira. Ooh, that was quite ugly between the two drivers, but fortunately, not no serious contact as it stands right now. Dan Evans now down the inside of De Oliveira is what I would have said, but there's now just too far back. Anyways, back into the situation here. Can ignore the yellow flag reminder onto the timing tower. That's because Adachi's still out on track. Meanwhile, we have Angela Sims and Hanari Miyuki going side by side for 4th place. Ooh, you can see here Sims now down the inside of Miyuki. Miyuki's gonna go for a defensive move around the outside. Sims is gonna hang around the inside, and if she can stay there, she's gonna be absolutely pleased with herself given the events at Bororam. Sims has now claimed 4th place away from Hanari Miyuki and is looking very comfortable in terms of getting herself back in championship contention. Liam Kai currently controlling this race at the moment. Shango and Dan Evans in front of him. It's these two drivers that made Liam Kai spin around, so he needs to be extremely careful with them next time, especially coming into 7 laps to go here in the Spielberg Grand Prix. And Ito Burleson's now off as well. Looks like he's made contact with Sims and Miyuki. Look, as you can see here, Costanta have now joined this battle for P5. And also we have Don Elise also in a battle against Javier Lusby. And now this battle for P4 has now extended to 8th place. Ooh, and you can see here, diving down the inside, there goes Costanto against Hanari Miyuki. Hanari Miyuki has lost the pace, and Costanto is gonna take it superbly. The position. And just needs to hang around the outside there. Costanto against Miyuki. And meanwhile, Lusby has managed to pass Don Ellis, but you can see Miyuki has managed to defend her position absolutely amazing. And now we can see Javier Lusby trying to go down the inside of Juan Costanto. Costanto and Lusby side by side, the two South American drivers at it between each other. And right now, nothing is separating between the two. And now we might fear that there's going to be some 3-wide action coming into turn 1. This will get ugly between Costanto, Lusby, and Elise. Contact! And Don Elise has spun! Don Elise is going to try to get herself back on, but it's not going to be enough. There's too much damage on her car. She's going to be the 3rd DNFer in this race, which will help Zeke Wimberly get more points. Another twist in this race at the moment, and this will allow Ahmed El Ashor to get himself back into the points if Don Ellis isn't able to continue. Another element of chaos has been applied in the final stages of this race. Talk about increased dramaticness in this race right now. Oh my goodness. And Corey Jimenez is gonna be in position to steal more points away as it stands. And now we can confirm that the championship charge for the Crazioli number 13 has unfortunately come to an end. Wait, the Brazilian is already over. Takeda Adachi not gonna be helped right now. He's gonna have a mountain to climb with 2 races to go. Anyways, back on this race right now. 6 laps to go here in the Red Bull Ring. It's not over yet. Lusby is trying to catch Miyuki. Costanto still back down in 7 after that 3-wide stunt. I mean, Elshore has officially cracked himself a points position once again. And you can see here, Ellis has now dropped down to 17, unfortunately. Dan Evans is now into 16. There's going to be another crash up front. There'll be Dan Evans inside the points, but let's just hope that it's not going to be the likes of Liam Kai crashing, as it will be absolutely unfortunate. Angela Sims is being drawn with a similar comparison to Pipo Durrani as how she would get herself past these cars. But we'll have to wait and see. And also, if you understand the references in endurance racing, you will probably understand the context of why we're saying that. Anyway, Sims trying to catch Aziz Mwazif. Sims knows that she has a championship that she needs to battle, but at the same time, she also needs to give some room to Aziz Mwazif, who's also currently in a championship battle on his own against Jake Martinez. Currently 20 seconds back, currently 20 seconds ahead of Aziz Mwazif. Right now, nothing comes of it for now, as we have now started lap 68. 4 laps to go here in Red Bull Ring for the Spielberg Grand Prix. The local man, while the driver representing the local VTuber Takanashi Kara, that is Corey Mendes, not having a great race at the moment. Having a subpar qualifying, has had some incidents left, right, and center, which doesn't really help that he was involved in that lap 1 incident. But he's at least back in this race, although with a damaged front or damaged rear wing, although that was for a separate incident. Meanwhile, we have Shango now back into the top 10 despite all that. Now causing trouble to the race leader, who does not want to go a lap down there, Shango. Liam Kai wants to put Shango a lap down as a pride move, if you want to call it that. Shango still trying to find a way past Dan Evans, who is actually 1 lap down, so we're about to go 2 laps down at this rate. Bertelsen still stranded at the exit of turn 1. Same goes for Adachi and Don Ellis. Talk about a graveyard here, this corner. Here's Liam Kai and Shango and Liam Kai and both. That will be Liam Kai, and unfortunately it will be Liam Kai out of the race with 3 laps to go. And the door is now wide open for Jake Martinez to steal the race lead away and the race win away from Liam Kai. Another late race drama for the race leader. First it was Angela Sims at the Burram Super Prix. Now it's Liam Kai at the Spielberg Grand Prix, and here's the race leader. Well, formerly the race leader. He is now out of it entirely. And this will also we have Ethan Bertelsen looking to continue his way back into the front. He will try to get some points back, but for Liam Kai, he's now stranded at the exit of the pit lane. Who was controlling the race for most of it. And now he's gonna see his chances of him winning the Spielberg Grand Prix slip at the hands of Jake Martinez, who is going to be winning his 2nd in the season so far. He is visibly unhappy, but not that frustrated, as he feels like, yeah, this is just one of these races. Liam Kai is reporting on the radio. While he is dejected right now, he is out of it, and he's looking to forget about it and just move on. Just having this cool head right now. But again, that was insane to find out. Ethan Bertelsen's chance to get into the top 16 at the very least is going to be quite a challenge, because he's currently 7 minutes behind Don Ellis. And now we have Jake Martinez leading the penultimate lap of the Spielberg Grand Prix, and right now Jake Martinez just needs to see this through. He only has the lap car of Ethan Bertelsen that he needs to deal with before all this can be done and dusted. Jake Martinez has already secured his first win in Formula Hololive at the Malaysia Grand Prix. That was back in February. Back when, of course, he got his first win. Jake Martinez, of course, has never gotten a pole position in ARO competition so far. And you can see here he's now side by side with Ethan Bertelsen. And if this will get very ugly for him and Bertelsen, well, because Bertelsen was already involved in an accident a few laps ago. And if this doesn't go well for Martinez, it's going to open the door for Aziz Muazif. Oh, and now we have Jake Martinez being spun on the final lap of the race, and it's going to open the door for Aziz Muazif to steal it all. Jake Martinez, it's like no one wants to win this race at all. Given that we have both Liam Kai and Jake Martinez bottling their chances on winning the Spielberg Grand Prix in the span of 2 to 3 laps, and now we have Aziz Muazif leading in Spielberg, leading in the Rebel Ring on the death and the final lap of the race. Up until this point, no ID class cars have won a points-paying Formula Hololive International race, and if Aziz Muazif can survive those final 2 sectors, he will make history as the first ID class driver, and the race will go down in the history books as the first Hololive Indonesia member to win a points-paying Formula Hololive International race. And now, the Nutty Squirrel, represented by Aziz Muazif, only needs to deal with 2 more corners to make it official. Turns 9. And now coming into turn 10. The world is Aziz Muazev's squirrel. No, non-stop nut November has come early for Aziz Muazev and all the reasoners. Aziz Muazev wins the Spielberg Grand Prix. And against the run of play as well, Angela Sims finishes second, and Javier Luzbi debuts for Vestjazeta in the best way possible. He finishes third. Hanari Miyuki fourth. Costanto fifth. Sven Jensen 6th, Yuri Rafael de Oliveira 7th, Sean Go 8th, Zeke Wimberly 9th, and Corey Rica Mendes, despite having a damaged front rear wing, will finish inside the top 10. Ahmed El-Ashar has confirmed to be in 13th. Dan Evans will look to seal his place in 14th place. Kai 15, Tayo 16, Bertelsen is about to finish this race in 17th with a completely damaged rear end. Ellis 18th, Adachi 19th. What a chaotic race we are seeing here right now with tons of parked cars here. Also, we have Bernardo Santiago involved in a crash as well. We'll have to watch this Oh, this is a very messy scene. This is a very messy scene. And that should be all for the Spielberg Grand Prix. Aziz Muazev takes the checkered flag here in Spielberg, the Red Bull Ring, for him to take the first ID class win of the 2023-24 Formula Hall International season for Ayuda Risu. He wins the Spielberg Grand Prix for Ayuda Risu. Second place goes to Anya Melfisa for Sims's second place in ever, well, in the last few races. I think it was the Sepang or Malaysia Grand Prix. And Javier Luzbi makes it an ID lockout in the podium, with him scoring his debut in podium in his debut race for Vestjazeta. Hanari Miyuki makes it 4 ID class cars inside the top 4 for Kobo Kanaeru. Juan Casanto is the best EN class car for Oro Crony. Sven Jensen finishes 6th for Iris. Yuri Rafael de Oliveira 7 for Pavolia Reni. 8th goes to Sean Go. Great comeback for him despite having a crash in 8th for Gargura. Zeke Wimberly 9th for Sarasvana. And Corey Mendes, despite having damaged rear wing, ends up inside the top 10 for Takanashi Kara. Jake Martinez ends up with an 11th place after he basically spun out on the final lap. Same goes for Bernardo Santiago in 12th for Watson Emilia. Ahmed El-Ashar 13th crosses the line. He would have be credited with only finishing 70 laps. The same goes for Dan Evans for both of these drivers representing Kyle Kowalski and Irene 15 respectively. Liam Kai ends up with at least 1 point despite leading most of this race for Hakos Bales. And that will be all of the points paying drivers. Hyuntayo 16th for Hoshinova Muna. Ethan Bertelsen 17th for Nanashi Mume. Don Ellis 18th for Kijioli. And Takara Adachi 19th for Gaogura. So we're gonna load a replay just to show you how chaotic this race has been. First of all, let's take a look into the lap 1 incident that basically took out 2 drivers at the start. So let's take a look, just see how it went, especially for Corey Rica Mendes. Just wanted to. Okay, here's the race start. Let's see how it goes especially for Corey Rica Mendes. And as you can see here, he got pushed by Yuri Rafael de Oliveira, got tagged, and that's where both of these drivers get involved in pretty nasty incidents, and that is what exactly has transpired. So let's take a look into Yuri Rafael de Oliveira's onboard, because that was pretty crazy from the Pablo Nasty drivers. Very late there, got into the back of Corey Rica Mendes, and also for good measure, he was hit by other drivers from what we're seeing. Nah, it's just Yuri Rafael de Oliveira, and also it seems like he did block other drivers' progress, like for example Ahmed El-Ashar, Zeke Wimberly was also involved, Dan Evans too. So that was pretty messy from these drivers. And also we wanted to highlight some of the other casualties in this race. Like for example, Takeda Adachi, who was involved in this lap 1 in this incident here. Here's Takeda Adachi on the street wide battle. There's Koirika Mendes. Tagged Aziz Mozif tagged Takeda Adachi and then gave him enough damage for him to be out of this race entirely, which is absolutely unfortunate because I don't think there's any fault for Adachi be involved in to blame in this incident. You can see here Adachi. Oh, that was just wild. Here's another angle in this turn 1 incident. Here's Adachi. Ooh, tagged from the rear, and that's some damage on that rear right suspension, and that should be him out of the race. And also looking into some of the other drivers, we have Dawn Ellis, who was also involved in an incident of her own. If you want to know what happened, it's also a 3-wide action coming into turn 1. This is on lap 65. And as you can see, a 3-wide against Javier Luspi and Monica Stanto. Oh, and that is where she joined Takeda Adachi, and she noticed that there is serious damage to her suspension. That's basically a race over for her. Very, very unfortunate. So let's take a look at the onboard just to see what has exactly happened to the debutante. Of course, one debutant finishes 3rd, and this one finishes outside the points into the DNF. Here's Dawn Ellis is on board. Ooh, tries to find the space when there is none. Ooh, gets tagged on the rear, and that is her out with suspension damage. And that explains Dawn Ellis. And meanwhile, we also have Ethan Burleson, who was involved in 2 separate incidents. So here's what happened to Burleson. You can see here, Burleson was basically trying to fend off Angela Sims. Here's Sims around the inside. Burleson, was unfortunately collected there. Was unfortunately collected by the stranded car of Takeda Adachi. He will be fuming that why is there no safety car, because that absolutely costed him the race. Absolute heartbreak for Burleson, as he felt like there should have been a safety car. He was mad that there's not going to be any safety car. He's absolutely going to storm the race officials at this rate. Also, we have Liam Kai, who has basically led this race for much of it up to this point until this very moment, where he was basically going side by side with Sean Go. Here's Liam Kai on the inside of Sean Go, and while you can see here, Sean Go actually was also involved with a bit of a collision too. You can see Go got tagged by Liam Kai and also hit Ethan Burleson as a result. That was very, very weird between these 2 drivers, but of course that also inadvertently puts Ethan Burleson back into the fight with a kickstart. Meanwhile, Liam Kai has to be stranded here, thinking of what this race what this race should have been. But he really doesn't need to mind too much. And also, we want to take a look into the likes of Dan Evans and Sean Go, who was involved in some sort of incident. So if you want to know what happened to Dan Evans, again, turn 1 is Calamity Corner. Here's Dan Evans against Liam Kai early on. This is currently on lap 38. Ooh, gets tagged by Liam Kai. That was just nasty. He was trying to get himself back on, tried to go in the straight and lock, and then just hits the inside wall at the exit of turn 1. That would be out. Doesn't explain Sean Go. Here's Sean Go in this same lap in the battle against Angela Sims for position. Side by side, so will Sean Go. Oh, it just hits the rear end of Sims. Again, makes the same mistake that Dan Evans had made. And looking into some of the other drivers, we are looking at Bernardo Santiago, but first we need to take a look at Jake Martinez, where he had a surefire chance of winning this race. Here's what happened on lap 16, on the final lap of this race. against Ethan Bertelsen. Ethan Bertelsen, oh, tried to give space to Martinez, but as you can see here, Martinez broke just a bit because they know that they got 3 cars stopped in front of him, and of course Ethan Bertelsen didn't really notice and essentially just pushed Martinez off, and at the same time he was involved in a collision with Don Elise, and that gave him rear wing damage for the rest of that final lap. But for Jake Martinez, this is the race that got his race taken away, and as you can see here, Jake Martinez with the damage, he's not going to be able to continue. That basically explains him. Meanwhile, speaking of what happened to Bernardo Santiago on the final lap of this, well, for his final lap of this race, he's battling his fellow comrade in the split C, that is Ethan Bertelsen. Oh, again gets spun by Ethan Bertelsen. There's some suspension damage, tries to get himself back, and again here's a screenshot of the graveyard, turn 1 graveyard. What is this? This is just insane. And that should be it for this race. I don't think there's anything left to report. But yeah, it was a very chaotic race from start to finish, and that should give us a serious mix-up in the championship order, especially with Jake Martinez only being good enough for 11th place, given that he basically crossed the line for lap 71 on the final lap. The championship order is going to look very, very weird, and that we are going to confirm. Yes, it does. So here it is. We have Aziz Muazev now actually extending the lead over both Jake Martinez and Zeke Wimberly. What was a 19-point gap has completely opened itself into a near 100-point gap between, over actually 100-point gap, nearly 200 points. And actually, with Aziz Muazev's great performance at the Red Bull Ring, he might be able to have a realistic chance of basically locking up the championship with 1 race to go if results go Muazev's way at Mosport. Zeke Wimberly, of course, is in 2nd place with 791. Jake Martinez, 3rd, 778. Takeda Adachi, 4th, 708. Juan Castanto, 603 points. And with that, the cutoff line is actually at 675, and that means that only 4 drivers are left in the championship hunt, and the ID class relies solely on Aziz Muazev to lock up the championship for the ID class. Juan Castanto and the rest of the drivers below him are going to be out of title contention. Angelo Sims 6 for 598, Corey Comendes 7 568, Urafa de Oliveira 8 450, Ahmed Al-Shor 9 397, Hanari Mutiny 10 for Kobo Kaineru, Liam Kai 11 for Hakos Bale, Shango 12 for Garukura, and Dan Evans 13 for Irene, 15 Bernardo Santiago, 14 for Watson Amelia, Ethan Bertelsen 15 for Nana Shimome, 16 goes to Javier Lusby for Havisha Zeta, Sven Jensen 17 for Iris, 18 goes to Don Ellis for Preiji Aldi, and 19 goes to Hino Chitayo for Hoshi Nobamuna. And so yeah, you need to be 670, well no, sorry, no, just wanted to change, sorry, it's not actually 4 drivers left in the championship hunt, it's actually 6 drivers left in the championship hunt. The cutoff line for points is actually 575 points, so it's actually Angela Sims and Juan Castanto also still in championship contention, but they need the results to go their way for them to bring the championship battle to the final race at Indianapolis. And as we are looking into the final stages of this championship battle, we have Mosport and Indianapolis coming up in May. So hopefully you guys are not going to be able to miss this one, as we're going to be seeing a climatic end to the Formula Hololive International Championship run for these 6 remaining drivers. With that being said, I'm Mama Reza in the commentary booth, and hope you guys enjoyed this stream as much as I do. We'll see you in the next 2 or 3 weeks for the for the next race at Mosport, the penultimate race of the Formula Hololive International season. There's going to be surprises coming up soon, so hopefully you're able to tune in. With that being said, we hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. I'm Awasha Reza once again, and this is the round 8 of the Formula Hololive International season race of the 23-24 season. You've been watching the Spielberg Grand Prix. We'll see you next time.